we want to pose this question to the person watching this, okay? It is obvious that low self-esteem generates failure, right, from what we've done so far. That the immune dysfunction, low self-esteem, does not immunize you to failure. You get failure with your low self-esteem. If so, if you cure your low self-esteem, will you have success? Now, is it obvious to the viewer from what they've seen here that you will have success if you raise your self-esteem?
Your access.
Is it obvious to you?
It's obvious to me.
Because
you are.
I went to a seminar yesterday, and that was the first thing on their list. Like, you have to change your mindset if you want to be successful. You just can't think about yourself or life the way you've been thinking about it. So that would. Maybe I think it gives you easier access to success. I mean,
maybe you can't think. Maybe you can't think about yourself at all if you want to be a success.
Well, yeah. You have to just
maybe you have
think that how you are has anything to do with it.
That's right. Because just think about this, Boots. Had you not gone into your... Is it obvious to you that if you hadn't gone into all of those symptoms during your German test, you would have been fine? Had you listened...
Yeah, I would have been fine. You're right.
Had you listened to the... Good. You look good, Boots. Very good.
Thanks. Maybe I should get dressed or something.
Well, you know, it's up to you. I mean, you look all right either way.
It's okay now. Does it look like I'm in my underwear or something?
No, it looks like you're in a warm-up thing.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, your regular thing that you wear. Okay, so you tell us the story. You took your German test. Let me try to summarize it. You took your German test, and you decided you flunked.
I don't know if I flunked.
Yeah, they didn't tell you flunked, but you thought you did.
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay, that's the summary. And so then you went out and you skipped your cure team meeting and got drunk.
Well, yeah, kind of, yeah.
Okay. So did you get kind of drunk or very drunk or what?
Well, after the test, I had to pick up my son from a friend's house, and she asked me how it went, and I was not in a good place. So I said I think I bombed it out, and she just pours the glass of wine right there. I sat there for a couple of hours, and we had a few left. I didn't have that much to drink because I had to drive home. But then when I got home, I started drinking more. That's the problem. And I think all in all, it's about
Jen, your voice is disappearing. I think your mic cuts out when you talk loud or hit it with your hand or something.
Okay. I drank.
Oh, it's gone. I can barely hear you. Are you having trouble telling this story? Are you uncomfortable about telling us this?
No, I feel I'm really mad at myself. Really mad at myself.
So, you don't like failing.
No, I don't fail tests. I don't do that. Like, I never said I failed a test in my life.
Okay. What made you think you failed this one?
Well, I did great, the first part of the test, the reading, comprehension, the writing, the hearing, and then we had the interview. And there were 12 possibilities for a dialogue, a role play between myself and two native, German testers. And I memorized, I knew what I was supposed to do. I had 12 possible scenarios. I memorized 10 because 2 of them I just said, I don't want those. There's no way I will not pick those. So they give you 3 pictures. And I said, well, if I don't know 2, then, it's impossible that the 3rd one is going to be something, I would know it. So I get in there and I did my introduction. I had to, do a speech, and I did that, and that was fine. I was feeling good. And then they plopped down those pictures, and it was the 2 that I didn't memorize. And the 3rd one, the wild card that I've never seen before.
Oh, no.
And I panicked. I just panicked. Like, my heart was pounding, and I didn't know what to do. I sat there for like 30 seconds, and they're looking at me, come on, pick something. And I stupidly picked the one I didn't know. I don't know why I did that. Well, I know why.
Hey, Jen, your mic cut out again. We can't hear a thing.
Huh.
See, it sort of slowly comes back. You might need a new headset. It does this all the time. And I don't think that's normal behavior for a headset. I still can't hear you. Say something now. No. No, sorry. No, it's no sound.
Huh.
It seems to be getting worse, especially today.
Maybe it'll come back.
There you go. No.
Maybe
I heard that.
Okay.
That's good.
Is it better?
We hear you. Yeah.
Okay, so I will calmly say the rest. I think I get excited and it does something to the microphone. I picked the 3rd picture that I'd never seen before because it was 2 people in a gym, and I thought, I can do that. And
fake it.
Just as we got started, I realized that was the wrong move, because with each dialogue, you have to ask certain questions. There's some improv, and then some of it is like you have to cover certain topics. And then I realized, like, no matter what I said about the gym, I didn't know the questions I was supposed to ask or answer. And so I just started just going in my head and beating myself up, and this woman is like playing her part of the role. And I wasn't listening to her because I just kept thinking, why did I do that? That was really stupid. Maybe I can change. I wonder if I could ask her if I could take a different one. So I lost control. I didn't know what she said, and then I just looked confused. Like I had to ask her to repeat things, and it just got worse. So.
Yes.
So I don't know how important that part was. Everything else was perfect, like all the others.
All right.
But it shook me up, and I was really bummed out because I studied for it and I felt confident going in there, and that just,
Okay, test this question.
Yes.
Have I lived my life in a chronic performance anxiety?
Okay. Have I lived my life? Performance anxiety. Yes.
Okay, so there. It seems as though, like, what you did looks like you utterly self-sabotaged.
I don't know. I don't see how I did that.
Well, for one thing, you were saying that you weren't listening to the person. Like, you didn't just go in there and do the test, Like, you started deciding that you had done something wrong and thinking about you, and all your attention was on yourself.
Yes.
Instead of on the test.
Right. Right.
So that sounds like self-sabotage. And not only that, but test was I punishing myself?
Was I punishing myself? No, I get no.
You mean when you decided I've done the wrong thing and you started thinking about that, what can I do? I've done the wrong thing. What is that if not punishment? Is it an immune dysfunction?
Is it an immune dysfunction? Yes.
Okay. Is it on the list?
Is it on the list? Yes.
More than one?
More than one? Yes.
All right, Barb, help her test through the list of immune dysfunctions to find out what immune dysfunction she was running.
I got them right here.
Barb?
Right by my bedside.
Barb, can you hear me?
Hmm?
Barb, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Did you hear what I asked you to do?
Yeah, she's got the list, so
Okay.
maybe she can just test on the list.
Okay.
There you go.
I think you ought to test for her on your end with the list, too, because you might get different ones than she does, and maybe yours might be, if you don't see her getting what you got, you could tell her about it.
Okay. Hold on, I'll get to this. Are you just scanning the list with your finger?
Yeah. Well, I kind of do it a different way, if that's okay.
Yeah.
I have it on 3 pages, and I just tested it on page 1, page 2, or page 3, and then left side, right side, and narrow it down to like half a page. Go there. Okay, so accepting using bad information. Addiction.
Okay. Let's go. Is it page 1, page 2, or page 3?
I got a yes on anxiety. But
Anxiety. Okay.
I don't usually get that one, but definitely felt it before going in there.
So you can remove anxiety from all your bodies?
Yeah. Okay, I'm now in anxiety for myself and all of my bodies. Okay. That's done.
Anything else?
Okay. Back my list. Okay, I'm just going to go down the list really quick. Interference. Got interference.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll just remove it.
Okay.
Remove interference of myself and all of my bodies. Okay. That one's done. Okay, are there any more I need to look at right now? Okay, got a yes. I'm going to keep going here.
Okay.
Likes, dislikes. Neurological. Okay, non-awareness command. Compartmentalizing. Compartmentalizing.
Okay.
It's really weird. I'm getting ones that I don't normally get.
Yeah,
Okay.
these are ones that can manifest as addictions or addiction-related behaviors, or maybe like an addiction to performing or that kind of thing. Or caused by trauma. I know it's the last 3 you picked.
Definitely had a lot of trauma over the weekend.
Test. I want you to test something. Am I addicted to trauma?
Am I addicted to trauma? I get no. Do you guys get no on that? For me?
I got no.
Okay. Am I addicted to performing?
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Am I addicted to performing?
Got yes?
Yes.
You know, Barb, when you just saw that, when you see something like that, you have to really make sure the person tests it. Like, go all the way through to the test with Boots.
Okay.
Now, one thing I want to ask you is, when you went through this, picked up your son, whatever, why didn't you just come home, join us at the meeting, and tell us about it?
Well, I was drinking, and then when I got home, I was kind of drunk, and I didn't want to like bring that into the meeting. Like, I just thought like it's not appropriate, like testing when you're wasted. It just didn't seem like the thing to do.
Oh, so this is you just tested for compartmentalizing.
Yeah, is that what compartmentalizing is?
Well, test was that a symptom of compartmentalizing?
Yeah, you put your drunkenness over here and your meetings over here.
That's right. Barb, have you ever come to a meeting drunk?
No, but I've been stoned. I'm hungover right now. I was drunk last night. I've come hungover and stoned, but...
Yeah, but you're always hungover and stoned, so...
It's true. I woke up today, why do I have a headache? And I realized I drank wine last night.
Oh, no. You know, I just don't drink wine.
I thought I just drank a little bit.
I know, it kills me.
It felt really great at the time.
We used to get great wine, and then I never got a headache from it, but it's all gone now.
Yeah.
All the wine is gone. Even the good wine is you get headaches from now.
Yeah, organic wine is here and sulfite-free, but they said that's not what causes the headaches.
You pay $600 for a bottle of champagne, you get a headache from it. It used to be you could get a good bottle of champagne, it didn't give you a headache. But now,
Why now?
Everything, they made a law. Although maybe in Austria you have better, you may have better wine and beer and so on than here.
They do, I think so.
In America, they made a law that they have to put additives in wine.
No, you know what? They have really good laws around food, and you don't mess with Austrians' food. Yeah. They have like the toughest laws in the EU. So.
Yeah,
okay, back to you. Okay, so you compartmentalized. Yeah, that is. Test this. Have I been compartmentalizing immunics?
No.
How about have I compartmentalized curing my thyroid nodule?
No.
How about meetings?
Yes, but I think it's just because of the thing last week.
The performance thing.
I mean, did you want me to come there drunk?
Test this. Yeah. Have I generally compartmentalized?
I'm totally upset.
Have I generally compartmentalized meetings?
Generally. I get a yes.
Okay, so that's important.
Yes.
Good that you tested that. Now test, have I cured it?
Have I cured it? I get a yes.
So this,
yes too.
Here, let's go back to the dialogue in the test.
Yeah.
Now,
I cringe. I think of it. I wake up at 2 in the morning and I start.
Okay, test this question. Did I go into a gigantic architecture of symptoms during the test?
Wait, I missed the first part. What was the question?
Did I go into an architecture of symptoms?
No, you're cutting out there.
I am? Oh no. Did I? Okay. Did I go?
I got it. Yes, I heard it and I got it.
You said.
I asked if she went into an architecture of symptoms during the test.
Okay.
It's this
Well,
whole.
she heard that.
This whole architecture. It's a. Like. Was I in a virtual reality?
I wish. Good one though. Was I in a virtual reality? Yes.
Like you were trying to generate a virtual reality where you had an excuse for failing. That's what you actually did. You gave yourself, you started this test and you said, oh no, you know, I made a mistake with this and I picked the wrong picture and this isn't going to work, I'll never be able to do this. You stopped listening to the woman.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now...
I panicked. It was a total panic.
When you told me this...
That's immune dysfunction too.
Yeah, okay, thank you, Barb, thank you. Now, you test that with her.
Okay.
Ask if you had panic.
Oh, yeah. Got a yes.
You can remove the tendency to panic from all your bodies.
I think that there's still something's going on with this language and me and this language, you know?
Did you remove panic?
Yeah, I gotta remove panic. Okay, now removing panic from myself and all of my bodies. Okay.
Feel any different?
Do you feel different?
Yeah, I feel good.
You what?
I feel good.
You look different. That's a big one. I had that a lot too. The other day I did something and I noticed that I changed because I didn't panic at all. I just thought, oh well, there it goes. And then I just resolved it. Like what it used to be, a huge panic situation, just turned into like a little wrinkle that I solved in like 2 seconds. And then, I locked myself out of here, I think it was, which is like this huge hermetically sealed building. And then I just walked down, like I had like my pajamas on, almost like flip-flops, you know? And then I'm just walking around and then I just manifested this guy that, I don't know, I just figured it out. But, yeah, don't panic. Don't panic. Okay. Are there any other, you look really calm now.
I'm calm now.
Good.
Maybe I passed.
I know, that's what I'm thinking too. There's some way that you give some kind of power away to these testers and people too.
Maybe I'm just being a drama queen, not a immune dysfunction.
Maybe.
No,
I think it has something to do with, is there an immune dysfunction that has something to do with perfectionism or something like that? Because it's almost like that you did perfectly, except all you remember is that one thing that you didn't do right. Let's see.
I thought this thing is easy, like, it was easy. All the reading and the writing, and I was finished in like half the amount of time they gave us to do the work.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had to wait a little while for the interview, and I was sitting there, and my classmates were like, the ones that were going in before me, they would come out and say, oh, I got this they all had the same 3 pictures. And I knew those pictures. I'm like, oh, that's great, because I had jokes. I was like ready for that one. Ready for it. I thought, it's going to be no problem. And even like when I talk about myself. I can
Test if you have strategies.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's an immune dysfunction. That would be good, right?
That's
Isn't that like a
well.
something you want to have? You want to install that functions?
There's a function called strategy, and there's an immune dysfunction called strategies.
Okay.
So Barb, which one did she test for?
Strategies.
The immune dysfunction.
Mental.
Because, see, people use strategies to compensate for immunity.
Okay.
The immunity is that you speak German so you could pass the test. You're immune.
Right. The strategy was you had jokes and everything prepared for.
I did.
I know, that was a strategy.
Now, I want to tell you, I want to get into a larger issue of this same thing.
Yeah.
The funny thing is that our meeting on Friday that you missed was about the issue of speaking. It was actually what we're discovering is the reason that we don't contact people who are potential supporters is because we don't know what to say. Now, I have been sitting in these movies with you for months now, and I don't know if you realize that you do this, but you bite your lip.
Okay.
Do you know what biting your lip means?
I have chapped lips. They are a little, no,
Anything?
I'm nervous.
Yeah, it means you're nervous, but you know how I keep telling you that you always say really good things?
Yeah.
Which is what you do. You say things that are needed, and also a lot of times you'll say something that's a segue into a direction where we need to go. Mm-hmm. Or you'll say something that introduces something that I want to talk about before I start talking about it, which makes it easier for everybody to relate to what I'm going to say.
Right.
And so forth. There's a lot of things you do like that without realizing you're going to do them just because you're operating at a high level of intuition and rapport with everybody. So you're a very intuitive person. And you're sitting in these movies biting your lip because you're biting back your words. You know, you're like, I'm talking to Barb and you have something to say and you bite your lip. Have you ever noticed yourself like holding back from saying things?
All the time.
Huh.
But you don't notice the lip biting. See, that's the thing, is you don't realize how extreme it is. Like you're like I don't know what the word is. You're doing something to yourself. Do you have any idea what it is?
Maybe it's I'm distracting myself.
I don't know, but you know, test this question. Is my self-esteem lower than it should be?
I got a yes.
There's a certain appropriate level of self-esteem. Like we shouldn't be overestimating ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, we should not underestimate ourselves.
Yes.
You know, there are so many people that I have tried to contact, and I really didn't know what to say to them. So I worked on it and worked on it and worked on it, and then I sent something to them, and, you know, it didn't work out. I never, you know, they just rejected my communication. I really didn't know what to say to them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Now, we can learn. See, there are just certain moments where we know what to say. And you're stopping yourself in those moments. In those moments, that's what I see you doing. And of course, this is why you're not fluent in German at this point. Because to be fluent in German, you're going to have to exercise discipline. When you teach your class, you're going to need to teach it in German. When you talk to your kids, you're going to need to talk to them in German because they're all fluent. Your kid's 8 years old and he's fluent.
Yes.
Right? And you know, your husband, I guess your husband speaks German, right? He's German?
Well, he's Austrian.
He's Austrian. So you know, you need to talk to him in German and talk to when you go out, just talk German, you know? And that's what you've been holding back from doing because you don't want to sound like this.
Exactly.
You don't want people to look like you're Rosella. I'm an English. I teach English. I teach
Her English is really good.
I teach the English to business people. But that's what you're going to have to. You're going to need. You're going to need to sound like an immigrant for a while. You know, just be an immigrant.
I sound like a caveman. You know, I speak in that present tense.
All right, so get yourself a big club and put a nail in it, and you'll be all set. Barb, what do you say?
Bite my lip. I don't know. just
You don't
about what it takes to just be a free, confident person. It's not that easy.
No, that's true.
I think Bootsy can do it. I think she can do it. I think she can do it.
Can you do it?
I see. It would take some work. I made a goal to do it while I was listening to you talk to her about it. I could make that as a new goal.
Well, you know,
to go that area.
You know what?
Just to be more free and just know I can do the things I think I can't do.
Be bold.
Yeah.
Barb,
Yes.
you know, like, you know exactly what's going on at every moment. Like, I'm watching you in this in this movie, in this meeting.
Yeah.
And you just come in right exactly where we are. Like, you're always right there. You don't even have to be listening, and you're still there.
I know, but that's the way it is for me in life too. That's a real gift or a skill that I've acquired. But the downside is I can't seem to find yet like the satisfaction in a daily partnership.
Boots is doing the same thing. Did you see it? She just bit her lip again.
Oh, yeah, I do that too. Like I don't think I.
Boots, did you know?
I did it. Or she did it.
Boots, you did it. What was the thought you were having when you bit your lip just now?
I don't know. It hurts.
What hurts? What's?
No, I have like chapped lips, though.
So that's what you were doing. It had nothing to do.
Well, I just feel there's this little pain right there, and so maybe I'm just messing with it. But I'm not going to argue that I do that all the time. If you've noticed it,
Did you have something you wanted to say to Barb when she was saying these things that she wants to?
I don't remember.
She wants to make it her. You know what? I think a lot of what you have to give is being lost.
Yeah.
And you know, I think you just did it again with your lip, by the way.
Yeah.
Right after you said yeah.
I'm not doing these on camera anymore. We're gonna have to make me self-conscious.
Well, you know what? See, that actually, you really ought to get a camera and be on camera during the meetings, because you would get much more out of the meeting if people could see you, because they would tell you important things that you need to know, that they would see that they can't hear in your voice.
Yeah, they don't need to see everything.
Well, if you want to,
I will do it. I'll do it.
if you want to cure everything,
I do.
then you need to show everything, because sometimes it's by somebody else pointing it out that you're ever going to find it. If you don't have it,
right.
What you cannot diagnose, you cannot cure. I had an allergy.
I mean, that's why I'm here. So you're right. I got to do that.
I had an allergy for years that it took me 5 minutes to cure. When I realized it was an allergy, it took me 5 minutes to cure it. And it was very painful. I used to get these bleeding cracks in the corner of my mouth in the winter.
What was it?
It was an allergy. It was an allergy to fruit pectin.
Wow.
And I took it out, and I went down and ate a pineapple, and I never got another crack. I tested it by eating a pineapple, which would really make your lips your mouth corners crack. You know, if you had this allergy. Anyway, oh my God.
Well, I did have this thought that I didn't say anything about, because it was off the topic. You know, it was like something we were talking about a while ago. And you were talking to Barb, so part of when I don't say something, I don't want to interrupt, or, you know, it doesn't seem like it's relevant to that moment that we're having.
What was it?
But right now, since I don't want to forget, the compartmentalizing thing, the test and the meeting. You know, I didn't show up at the meeting because I was drunk, but, you know, part of it was... I wasn't perfect. Like, I just knew I was going to go in there, and I wasn't, like, in my perfect space. And that's really important for me. That's how I feel powerful, is to, you know, and I wasn't
that's the key
to do that.
Right?
You know?
Yeah.
I don't see anything...
I think that's the key issue of the day.
Yes. I don't see anything off topic about it.
Well, you were just talking to Barb, you know, about...
I'll tell you a story. No, I think you and I have a similar thing. And
Barb, wait 1 second.
Like
Barb, hold the story for 1 second. Because I just want to complete this with you, Boots. That you just did to yourself, just now, when you stopped yourself and you decided, you made a decision, okay, this is off topic. You judged what you were going to say. Now, both of you need to understand, that is how you get low self-esteem. Your continuous self-judgment, the performance anxiety, your continuous wondering, am I good enough? For what? There's nobody here. You're alone in the universe. We're all you brought us all into being. So there is nobody to judge you. There's no criteria. I mean, and plus the thing that you had to say was totally on the topic, and it's going to create a breakthrough. So back to Barb. Go ahead. Tell your story. I'd like to hear it.
I was thinking, how about nobody here but go, well, my mother's here and all my exes are here. I was thinking about that. It could have been a break. It was kind of a breakthrough, but even though I didn't do it, but one of the very last movies I did with one of my clients, well, Alejandra, it was, when she was having a big success, kind of like her exit interview in terms of having cured one of the things she came in to cure. And I didn't make it. I didn't make it on the video. I was there, but I didn't show myself because I didn't think I looked good enough. And I didn't want to be seen. And I remember right before it happened, I was like, oh, well, who cares, you know? And that would have been like a very powerful thing, because it really is like, who cares, you know? Or I just looked how I looked, you know, it wouldn't have made a difference. But that was a big, it was not a setback, but it was kind of like I missed an opportunity to, you know, to give something to myself, plus to just not care, or to break that attachment about performing or looking a particular way, or
Thank you.
being seen a particular way.
Yes, very, very well said. You know, that's right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? We want to pose this question to the person watching this, okay? It is obvious that low self-esteem generates failure, right, from what we've done so far. That the immune dysfunction, low self-esteem, does not immunize you to failure. You get failure with your low self-esteem. If so, if you cure your low self-esteem, will you have success? Now, is it obvious to the viewer from what they've seen here that you will have success if you raise your self-esteem?
Zero access.
Is it obvious to you?
It's obvious to me.
Because
You, Barb.
I went to a seminar yesterday, and that was the first thing on the list. Like, you have to change your mindset if you want to be successful. You just can't think about yourself or life the way you've been thinking about it. So that would.
maybe
I think it gives you,
you know
easier
what?
access to success. I mean,
Maybe
there's
you
nothing
can't
blocking it.
think. Maybe you can't think about yourself at all if you want to be a success.
Well, yeah. You have to just
Maybe you
not
have
think
to-
that how you are has anything to do with it.
That's right. Because just think about this, Boots. Had you not gone into your... Is it obvious to you that if you hadn't gone into all of those symptoms during your German test, you would have been fine? Had you listened...
Yeah, I would have been fine. You're right.
Had you listened to the woman who you were talking to and dialogued
Yeah.
with her, you would have been totally fine. Now here's something else to test. Did I need to do that?
You know, I was just going to say that. I was just going to bite my lip, but now you've made me self-conscious, so I held back. I was just going to say, you know what, I probably passed it, and I just had this experience, so we could do this right now.
Right? That's right.
Well, did I need to do all that stuff during the test? There's something.
I get a yes, and then
Yeah, but what did I need to do it in order to continue with my low evaluation of myself?
yeah.
So you were actually actively trying to support your low self-esteem.
You know, I wish I'd talked to you after the test and not my friend that I went over to pick up my son, because she just said, God, Jennifer, how could you blow that? You should know this stuff by now.
She had no idea, right? Well, maybe you can go back and tell her how you could blow it now. Now you know, right? Now you know how that can be done, so you can explain it to her. Well, what am I getting from low self-esteem? Am I getting some? Barb, test this. Am I getting something from having low self-esteem?
You mean something positive?
Something that I want, something that you want from having low... Am I getting something I want from having low self-esteem?
You have to stay in a familiar environment.
Okay, did you get a signal on that?
Yeah.
Okay, test for anything else that you're getting.
I'm getting angry is what I'm getting. What am I getting?
Boots, what about you? What do you get from?
I just removed mine because I don't want it anymore.
Yeah.
I think it's just
Oh, I know.
repeated, you know. It's habitual.
I'm letting other people feel better, like bigger than me. Like if I make other, it's an artificial way of propping other people up around me. making them.
Tess, do I need other people to feel to be bigger?
No.
You got no signal on that.
Yeah, it was almost like I thought if I was really being myself, they would feel like almost blown away, or I would hurt them or something. So.
I got news for you. They will be blown away, Barb.
Other people. It happened when I was younger. I remember when I adopted this behavior, and then I thought I could make people feel more comfortable about themselves, because then they won't be intimidated by me.
See, that's the weird thing, is that the funny thing is, like, I have always known you for your true self, how powerful and how big you are, and that's how I see you, and that's what I like. That's what I see in you. That's I ought
to hang out. I ought to hang out with more people like you, because you like my power, and some people are.
That's right. You need to be around with people, and also coach people who like your power.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the people you should have in your congregation, and then that you should be ministering to people who like your power and whose power you like.
Mm-hmm.
Like why I selected you, Boots, because you're powerful, and I want that. I like that. And anyway, Franny told me a long time ago. She said, get the right people. Like be with powerful people. That's who you need to make movies with. Be with people who'll cure it. And Keely advised that too a long time ago. She said, find people who will do it. And I take the advice of my advisors. I am one thing about me. That is one of my better qualities. One of my more successful qualities is I actually let in the good advice of people who advise me. With you too. Like Barb has given me a bajillion things that I have implemented and are in our work now. That came from Barb. She's a real collaborator, a real colleague. Well, good. Okay, so Boots, I just want to tell you both this. The important thing to continue doing is you have to search yourselves, even though you're now cured of this. So you probably won't feel like doing this, but you need to. Barb, stop moving all that stuff around. The microphone is picking it up. We're going to get off now.
Okay.
In a minute, so just.
I don't want to.
Shut up! For 1 second.
I want to get off.
And stop shuffling paper. Well, you can call back if you want, but not me, because I gotta do some other stuff. But you need to keep finding what you were getting from low self-esteem, or from failure, or from whatever it was. What was it doing for you? Or from, like, for example, Boots, like...
I got it. I know what I was getting out of this one.
What? Tell me.
Well, then we'll have to do a whole nother show.
Well,
we could put that on for later, but tell me what it was.
So I can torture my husband a little more about why he made the move to this God-forsaken place. See, I'll never learn the language. There you go.
Well,
I'll prove it to you. I'll fail the test.
Okay, so your new program that you're taking away from this meeting is you're going to speak German to everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I will.
All right.
I will.
All right. Not to us, not in these movies. Not to us.
Dear out. Ich spreche Deutsch mit dir.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you both.
Thank you. That was great.
It's a great movie.
There you go.
Great movie.
Go to the 144th dimension.
okay.
I'm there. And also, before we go, this movie was given to you by HUM, the World Ministry of Immunics, which enables you to cure medically incurable diseases. We also produce the Cure Drive in the iCollege of Immunix. This is the home page. And as you see here, the movie that starts playing automatically when the page opens is a 3-hour tutorial film, which underneath it is the beginning of a series of movies. If you click on these links, you go to another movie that's a continuation of the tutorial, showing different aspects of the things that people need to get into when they cure things. The movie shows many people curing things. You'll find complete cure tutorials on the home page. Under the group at the top is another, this is a video and text tutorial, and if you click on the link, you'll see it has 10 lessons, and you can click on each lesson and you'll see that the lessons are movies interspersed with explanations. And if you continue scrolling down the home page, you'll find a huge bank of movies of people curing things. Here's one of someone curing multiple sclerosis that you can click on and these play. Hopefully this one will play in a moment. There it is. So that woman cured PPMS and MS. Here you'll find people from every continent: Europe, the US, Asia, Canada. This woman cured shingles, and in this particular movie that's what she's demonstrating. And at the top of the home page you will find links to the cure meetings that we have every week. 9 p.m. New York time, Rome time 8 p.m. Underneath the cure meetings you'll find a link to friend me. It's actually Byard. I'm Byard speaking to you on Facebook, and you'll meet many people who are my Facebook friends there who have cured various diseases. Many of us have cured herpes, which is what I cured. Also there, if you have trouble getting signals, there is a whole bank of movies that focus on people who are just starting to get their first signals. Many of these people went on to bigger and better things, and you see them in other movies. But these are movies about their signals, how they got their first signals. At the very top of the home page, you will find above the masthead a link to the cure shows. And we documented people curing things on, we did this on the phone. There are shows on about 75 diseases, and the diseases are listed alphabetically, as you can see. You actually hear the people curing these diseases during these shows. That's post-traumatic stress syndrome from 9/11, the catastrophe. We have a show on that, and fever, somebody curing the fever, several people curing fibromyalgia, flu. We had a flu hotline, and there are many people. These people are actually curing flu, and the flu stops. It clears up during the 15 or 20 minutes of the call. It doesn't take long to cure the flu. Over here you have paralysis, parasitic parenting, Parkinson's disease. When you cure something, please join your voice with the voices of the many people who came before you by reporting your cure in our poll, which you can do right above the tally of the cures that people have reported is here at the top. And as you can see, there's a little link here. And if you click on that, you will come to a form that enables you to report your cure. This page is the hub of the Web College, and as you can see, there are detailed lessons on how to remove viruses, cure cancer. Here's a movie on the right here of a doctor who actually years ago cured the flu on camera. You'll notice that skill 1 in the hierarchy of skills is cure physical diseases. That's actually the easiest thing with this particular approach. And I've put a great many things in the hierarchy of skills that relate to curing physical diseases, such as ending trauma, working on your organs. Now, if we go into the Recode Your DNA, there are 10 applications or 11 applications, and Recode Your DNA is one of them. If we go inside here, what we see is a page with a huge amount of links. And then if we look at the links on the right, after the ones on the left which prepare you, these are the actual lessons. And you can see some of them. It might be hard for some people to see why blind installation procedure is related to recoding your DNA. And this is why we've put it in this application, so that it relates it in your mind. This is the reason the Web College is organized the way it is to relate things for you in your mind. And obviously there are a huge number of things, like if you're curing cancer or herpes or any medically incurable disease, it's obvious that there are a great many things that you have to learn. And they're different for everybody. You do not have to learn everything that's listed here. And in fact, cure is instantaneous. And it's always unexpected how it will come. Like, watch these women. They're going to give you a perspective. This is a good way to conclude this little overview I'm giving you here. Say, can I go to the 144th dimension? See if you get a signal on that. Can I go to the 144th dimension?
Can I go to the 144th dimension? Yes? I guess I can.
Go ahead and do it.
Okay, both of you go to the 144th dimension.
I'm taking myself to the 144th dimension.
Me too.
No stopping for gas on the 8th dimension.
I feel clear.
I feel less interested in anything below the 144th dimension.
Can we stay here all the time?
I know, exactly.
Well, I mean, this would take a lot of backstory, but there are some decisions that my family's making that I now feel clear about.
Yes, because when you have that perspective from the 144th dimension,
Yeah.
you simply don't care about anything as much.
That's exactly it. But I don't care doesn't sound so good.
Well, see, that's right.
But it's it. That's really
Not
it.
in effect.
When people hear we say we don't care, they go, "Well, God, that's sick," you know.
Okay, I know.